Welcome to the Video Wizards podcast. I'm ready.
No, I can't remember seeing it at the time, so yeah, definitely more recent. I've got it sitting on my hacked original Xbox, so I can fire it up on the CRT television, which is always a pleasure. And just picking up from where you were talking about that auxiliary button, I see this sort of as an expansion of the Punisher beat 'em up that you recently did a long play of as well, right?
Yeah,
But where in the Punisher there are sort of designated areas where you get to shoot a little bit. Yeah, you get to do a lot of that in Alien vs Predator, and coupled, I think, with the massive swarms of enemies you're facing in this game, maybe more so than most side-scrolling beat 'em ups I can think of. Almost, yeah, it creates an atmosphere of pure mayhem, right?
yeah.
Like and massive crowd control.
Bedlam.
A lot of the enemies have low health bars, so you can take them out quickly. So it's way more about quick crowd control, and you almost get more like a sense of Narc or Smash TV out of it in a sense. But then, yeah, with a much larger melee combat aspect.
The thing for me is the fact that normally on a lot of these games, you could pick one or two or three different characters, and the differences you might get would be, for the most part, kind of quite cosmetic. Like maybe a character would have a different animation on the punch or the kick, or maybe there'd be, on the better games, maybe there'd be slight differences in terms of how a character handled, if they were slower or quicker or more powerful or whatever. The characters on this, when you go to the character select screen, there's 4 selectable characters. The first thing you notice is that there is 2 human characters and 2 predators.
Yeah.
Which is cool anyway.
Right.
It's super cool, right?
And you're tempted to pick those predator characters, right?
Every time.
But the human characters are pretty badass as well.
Exactly. And underneath each of the characters, you've got 3 kind of bars with statistics. You've got speed, power, and skill. And obviously you've got a Predator Warrior, you've got Major D. Schaefer, who's a human, massive stocky looking bloke he's the one with the robot arm, isn't he?
Yeah.
You got the Predator.
Loosely based on Schwarzenegger's character in the first Predator movie.
Exactly. You've got a Predator Hunter, and then you've got Lin Kurosawa, a woman who obviously looks quite a bit like Chun-Li.
Yeah.
But they've all got different skills, attacks, and also as well, the auxiliary fire button is different for all of them as well.
Yeah.
Because Lin Kurosawa obviously has got that, she's got that pistol, right?
Yeah.
A fast firing kind of pistol, whereas the 2 predators have got the cool shoulder cannons. And the interesting thing as well is the mechanic of, you think, well, why can't you just use that all the time? You'll be able to do it for a certain amount, but then if you overdo it, it locks out for a certain period of time. So the Predators ones have got a heat gauge, and if it gets to the top, then that cannon overheats, and then you can't use it for another 5-10 seconds. It's just there's so much depth to it for a game like this. Aside from the fact of what we'll talk about, how it looks and how it plays and the soundtrack and all the rest of the usual stuff.
Yeah.
The actual mechanics of it, in terms of why you should pick A over B, why should you do this in this situation rather than this, the strategy that you can set up from playing a game like this, I don't see a lot of scrolling beat 'em ups that you can approach in this way for me.